Hello everyone, this is Andrew, and I have prepared for you a presentation called Mother's Day Around the World. And in this presentation, we're going to look at how different cultures from all over the world celebrate Mother's Day. So we're going to see some similarities in the main idea, but some differences in the details and how these cultures celebrate Mother's Day. So let's take a look and get started. So first we have to answer the question, what is Mother's Day? Well, Mother's Day is a time when children show their moms or grandmothers, aunties, or other women who care for them how much they love them. So this is just a special holiday to show love and respect and appreciation for the motherly figure in your life, whether it's your mom, grandma, auntie, or another woman. This is the day where we show love and respect for that person. Because being a good mother is not an easy job. It can be very difficult, require a lot of patience and hard work. And so this is a special day where we can say thank you to the mothers in our life. We'll start by looking at Mother's Day in the UK. So Mother's Day in the UK is traditionally known as Mothering Sunday. In other words, that is the old name for it, what they used to call it, but now, in modern times, they just call it Mother's Day. So when is it? Well, it is held on the fourth Sunday of Lent each year, and Lent is the time that leads up to the Christian festival of Easter. So in the UK, they had their Mother's Day several weeks ago. And we are going to see that the date or when Mother's Day happens in different countries differs a lot. But the main idea stays the same. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on the same day. So children might give their moms cards, flowers, chocolates, or other gifts. So these are very common gifts for Mother's Day, especially in the UK and in my country, the US as well. Cards, flowers, and chocolates are very common to give to your mother on Mother's Day. Also, moms might be brought breakfast in bed, or families might have a special meal. This is also very common in my country, in the US. Me and my brothers and my father have done exactly this for my mother. We will either cook her breakfast and bring it to her in bed, or maybe cook a really big, fancy dinner for her. So cooking is a very common way to show love and appreciation for your mother. And how do you celebrate Mother's Day? Well, in Spain, it might be very similar to this or quite different. But let's look at a few other cultures and how they celebrate Mother's Day. Now let's look at Mother's Day in Australia. As in countries such as Canada and the United States, Mother's Day in Australia is on the second Sunday in May. So this date for these three countries is quite different than what we saw in the UK. So again, the day that it happens on might be very different, but the main idea behind it is still the same. So let's look at the history in Australia. So Australia started celebrating Mother's Day nearly 100 years ago in 1924. There had been a terrible war, so lots of moms would have lost their husbands and sons. A lady called Janet Hayden asked shops and schools to give gifts to these women. People liked the idea so much that they started doing it each year. So they started a tradition in Australia of giving gifts to the women that had lost some men in their lives due to the war. So they gave them gifts to try to make them feel better. And they liked it so much that they started a tradition and continued to do it. year in and year out. So even though it started from a very bad thing, like World War I or the First World War, they made it into something positive. So that's a nice tradition, something good out of something bad. And today in Australia, Mother's Day is a time for families to get together and enjoy celebrating the special women in their lives. So again, just like we saw at the beginning, it could be your mom, your grandma, your auntie, like a nanny or someone who takes care of you. It's just a day to show that we love them and respect them and appreciate everything they do for us. And it's nice in Australia because it came out of uh, the war, which was something bad, but now we have a nice tradition because of that. Moving on, we have Mother's Day in Mexico. So in Mexico, the Mother's Day is called Dia de la Madre. Of course, they put it in Spanish. And again, a very different date. In Mexico, it is on the 10th of May, and it is one of the most important days of the year. So instead of being the second Sunday of whatever month or having to do with Lent, it is simply on May 10th, a fixed day. No matter what day of the week it's on, it's always May 10th in Mexico. Families sometimes hire music bands to play their mom's favorite songs. So this makes sense because to me it seems that music is a big part of Mexican culture. So it makes sense that they would hire musicians to play maybe love songs or just songs that their moms really like. And it is most restaurants' busiest day of the year, as families may have meals to celebrate. So again, food is a very common theme in Mother's Day. We saw in the UK that it's more common to cook a meal for your mother, whereas in Mexico it seems that people like to go out and eat out at a restaurant rather than eat at home. So the place is different, but still the main idea of eating to celebrate is still common. And also flower stalls can also get very busy as lots of Mexican people buy their mom's flowers. So this word stall, you might not know, but it's just like a shop or a small little stand where you can buy specific things, in this case flowers. So that's another very common theme or idea that we're seeing for Mother's Day is to give your mom some nice flowers as a sign of love and appreciation. Now let's look at Mother's Day in Thailand. On Mother's Day in Thailand, you may see pictures of Queen Sirikit in lots of places. Also, in Thailand, Mother's Day is on the birthday of Queen Sirikit, the 12th of August. So this is interesting. In all of the cultures that we've saw before, the celebration is about the mother of your family, just like your actual mother. But it seems in Thailand that they focus more on like the government or the political sense of Mother's Day. So you could say the queen is the mother of the country or the mother of the government. So they put Mother's Day on her birthday to sort of honor her as the queen of all the people, or the mother of all the people in Thailand, rather. So that's quite different, quite interesting. Also, it is a national holiday, which means that children don't have to go to school. So clearly it's very important if they give the kids the day off from school because they want everybody at home to celebrate all together. There are often parades and firework displays. So this is also very different from what maybe me or you are used to. So when I think of parades and firework displays, I think of more like a festival, or you might think of Carnival. I might think of like 4th of July or Thanksgiving, but not Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, I'm used to more personal, like close celebrations, maybe just you and your family. Whereas in Thailand, they go out and party in the streets with parades and firework displays. So, very different from the Mother's Day celebrations that maybe we are used to. And finally, a traditional gift for children to give their mom is a jasmine flower. So, we've seen flowers as a common idea. Giving flowers to your mom seems to be very common. But in Thailand, it's not any flower, it is specifically the jasmine flower. And so that's rather unique. And it is said that the jasmine flower represents the unconditional love that a mother gives to her children. And unconditional love is just love that will not go away. So, in other words, no matter what you say or no matter what you do, your mother will still love you. And so, giving your mom this flower is a symbol of that unconditional love. Next, we have Mother's Day in Ethiopia. So, moving down to Africa. Mother's Day is so important in Ethiopia, it lasts for 3 days, and it is called Antrost. So clearly, if it lasts for 3 days, it is very important, very big deal in Ethiopia. And it is held at the end of the rainy season in autumn, and not only celebrates moms, but the earth and the gifts we get from the earth. So this is another really unique and really interesting take on Mother's Day, because just like we saw in Thailand, where they focus on the queen, sort of the mother of the country. In Ethiopia, they look at Mother's Day as a celebration of like nature. You could say it's a celebration of Mother Earth or Mother Nature. So they don't just celebrate the mother of your family, but again, more of like the mother of us all, everybody's mother, which you could say is Earth or nature. So, just like Thailand and Ethiopia, it's a lot more metaphorical and not just about the mother of your family. The whole family may prepare a special meal and sing songs that celebrate special people. So, this is a lot more common. We've seen meals in a lot of cultures and also the musical side of it too. So singing songs and eating together is very common, and that is done in Ethiopia as well. Finally, we're going to look at Mother's Day in Malawi. Mother's Day in Malawi is celebrated on the 15th of October. So a very different date. In most cultures, it is celebrated in the spring, but in Malawi, you can see it is celebrated in the autumn. It is a national holiday, so people have the day off work and school. So just like in Thailand, it is a very big deal. It's very important. So nobody has to work and nobody has to go to school. That way, everybody can be at home to celebrate together. And the president of Malawi often makes a speech explaining how important moms are and how people should respect and love them. So again, this just shows us that it is very important and a very important holiday in Malawi, because the president and people and the leaders of the country get up in front of everyone and explain the importance of moms. So clearly a very big deal in Malawi. So that's it. That's all I have. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and learned something about the way that Mother's Day is celebrated in different cultures around the world. So on the next slide, you'll find a few questions, review questions to check your comprehension of this presentation. So go ahead and try those. You can always go back and watch it again if you missed the answer the first time. But yeah, give those review questions a try. And we're going to be posting this on the blog. and you can leave comments on blog posts. And I would be really interested to hear what are some of your Mother's Day traditions. Like, what have you and your family done in the past to celebrate Mother's Day? So feel free to leave a comment on this on the blog, and let me and Christina know some of your Mother's Day traditions. So that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and learned something, and happy Mother's Day.